Many people set out to beat the game of blackjack, to gain the edge through card counting or advantage play, and very few people will actually do it.
Yeah, he's gonna get backed off tonight.
Why? I'm gonna explain that in this video. Hey guys, I'm Colin from Blackjack Apprenticeship. I've been a card counter, I've run blackjack teams that have beaten casinos for millions, and I teach others how to count cards through Blackjack Apprenticeship. And I get a little bit of a reputation as making card counting sound too easy, or it's easy money. If you can do 4th grade math, you can learn card counting. I'm here to tell you that is not true, and not only that it's not true, why it's not true. So here are the reasons why so few people have success at it, starting with number 1, which is that casinos are not built on luck. The odds are stacked against you. You don't have to just make money, you have to overcome the fact that the casino has an edge against you, and then on top of that, gain the edge. Which brings me to my second point, which is that mastering card counting takes time, discipline, and self-control, and most people do not have all three. My good buddy Joe748, $1 million card counter, put it this way: it is one thing to get your game perfect at home, but the reality is there are distractions in the casino. You have to put in the work so your game is so good that you can handle the emotions and the physical distractions to play a perfect game in the real casino environment. Most people never get their game to that level. The next reason many people will not succeed at card counting is that casinos can refuse service to whoever they want. I've made over $400 an hour during my professional career, and teams I ran, we won close to $300 an hour at the tables. Those hours aren't the same thing as a job where you can clock in and clock out for 8 hours. You start doing the math and say, well, if I just sit down at the tables 40 hours a week, look at the money I can make. That is not true. Sometimes you do last at the casino for days, weeks, months. Other times you last an hour. While at this point in my life, I can still get hours in the casino, it doesn't mean it's a guarantee I can walk into any casino and play at their blackjack table as long as I want. And that means travel, unpredictability, things that are outside of your control. Again, as my buddy Joe748 put it, backoffs are scary and stressful for all players and even for some pros. If you want to do this job, you got to be okay with the fact that there is unpredictability, backoffs are part of it, and you just have to be okay with that and overcome it, and many people cannot. The next reason many people will not make it as a card counter is that there are bankroll requirements. You have to have money to be a card counter. 25% of Americans have no savings at all, and another 26% of Americans don't have enough savings to last them 3 months. You need to have enough money to handle the swings of the game, to bet enough to make any money, and many people don't. If you do have a bankroll, that's great. I didn't have much, but I was able and willing to grind over a long period of time to build that up while not living off of any savings. Most people just can't do that. Another reason that many people won't make it as a card counter is that the variance monster will eat them alive. Many people view card counting as Ocean's 11, where we go into that casino, we just take their money, we use them as an ATM, put it in our pockets and walk out. That is not how card counting works. We're playing with about a 1% edge, and that 1% edge is real. It adds up over time, but that time is not adding up over the next few hands, the next few hours, or the next few dozen hours. The math can take hundreds and hundreds of hours to all work out. I've had losing streaks over 200 hours. I've had winning streaks of a few hundred hours where I just seem to not be able to lose. That can be incredibly difficult to handle financially and emotionally. To quote Joe748 again, regularly losing 20 to 35% of your net worth is extremely upsetting, and it doesn't magically go away after several years of playing. It's still very stressful. You play long enough, you will win that money back. It's guaranteed if you control your risk. But in the meantime, when you're losing, sometimes it's just too much and you'd rather have a different job. Another reason many people don't make it as a card counter is the loneliness. Nobody in the casino knows what you're doing. You can't tell them what you're doing. And being on the road from casino to casino with the stress of the game, the variance of the game, the backoffs of the game, a lot of people, that's just not something they want to keep doing. I totally get it. I've been fortunate to play on teams for pretty much all of my blackjack play, and that has helped to have some camaraderie. If you don't have that, it can be a lonely grind. But working on a team doesn't come without its challenges. There can be conflict with the other people. You've got to get along, you've got to work out all the kinks, the financial side of it. There are things to counteract loneliness. I recommend having a good support system of other advantaged players. We've got a community at Blackjack Apprenticeship if you want to check that out, where we support each other, share information, and help with that side of the job. But if you don't do well alone, you might not be a good fit as a card counter. One of my best friends growing up joined our blackjack team, and a few months in, he came to me and said, "Colin, I don't mind playing blackjack, I like it, the money's good, but I just don't like the loneliness. Being out on the road, being in casinos all by myself is not the right job for me." And I understand that. If that's you, if loneliness is difficult for you, being on the road by yourself is difficult for you, this might not be the right pursuit. Those are a handful of reasons why card counting is such a difficult job, but I have a spoiler for you. That has always been the case. When you read about the early card counters like Ed Thorpe in Beat the Dealer and what they were pioneering, they had things we don't ever even think about. They had constantly cheating dealers with these handheld games when Vegas was a different place. They had way fewer places to play. There were a handful of casinos in Vegas, and then years later Atlantic City opened up, and if you were burned in those two towns, you were done. They also had the fear of physical harm. It wasn't uncommon for card counters to spend the night in jail, or even worse, in how they were treated by the casinos. Now, the law is on our side much better than 50 years ago. That doesn't mean it's easy. Don't look for this as something easy to make money at, but it can be done if you have the right personality to overcome this. You can check us out, blackjackapprenticeship.com. We train, we provide resources, software, and community for card counters, or you can subscribe below, and we will catch you next time.